Hi, welcome back to Hi, my name is Alex. Today I want to let you guys know that as always, we're trying to find, well, me anyway, is competing in my little tiny challenge. And I'm going to constantly say that in every episode because I am producing 3 episodes every week. And so far I've been able to be quite consistent and I'm quite surprised of where I'm going so far, and also not surprised of how I'm doing at this stage because it's still at the early stages of creating content and putting it out there. As I said before, there are more and more people doing this type of just putting a camera in front of themselves and just talking. And I want to jump on that a little bit because what is that exactly? In 2025, there are more vloggers out there who are not doing it in a very professional look. They are, and they look beautiful and stunning, where they're doing like a diary entry style work, and it's there. It is there. You can see it very visually. But what I've noticed so far is that they're taking this approach differently, where they're going more simpler than that, where it's just anywhere they want, talking about work, life, and everything under the sun. You name it, they're talking about it. And they're demonstrating this in a more of a parent to child aspect where they're sharing stories and taking off tangent where they're moving back and forth from that. And what I mean by that is that they're telling stories while trying to push at one particular, maybe something they're trying to market or something they're trying to target or a particular topic they really want to emphasize on, and going off tangent. And then going back in and going off tangent. And that's really seemed to be the big thing about vlogging today in 2025. I'm seeing this approach all over YouTube, all over the place. And this is also what kind of influenced me of trying to do this myself, because I want to prove to you guys and to myself, especially to myself personally, that anyone can go online as long as they have a camera. You don't need a lot of money. You don't need very much expenses, just a camera and the ability to upload and to share your story. Because I tell you right now, guys, at your age group, if you happen to be my age group, 35 and over, we already have a ton of stories to share, and our experiences are enough to not only build an engaging, strong storyline and content for our viewers to watch, but also to say that we have a story to share. Our life is important, and someone out there, and there's an audience out there that wants to see and share what we experienced, and that's empowering. It really is. And I think YouTube, above anything else, is a platform today to jump on. Now, yeah, there's other social media platforms you can jump on, like TikTok, Instagram, Lincoln Learn, and you can grow from them too. But I think above anything else, like you need to stick to the one niche really, and really show up. Show up, be consistent, and really be there, because you're just telling your audience right there and then that you are I guess not only the motivated speaker, but a person in power in your area that you're trying to talk to, that you can provide enlightenment or a skill set or solving an initial problem that they have that only you can resolve. Because the most important thing you have to remember, it's not about being the guru or the person who's a godlike figure in that industry, but it's more towards you being ahead of someone by a few steps, because that's probably all they need. That's probably all they need at the time, is to understand how you got there those few steps ahead of them. And the interesting part is that what you're going to find is that when you're ahead of that person, a few more steps ahead of them, when they're learning to get to where you are and they reach out to you, you're eventually going to be more further more steps, because you're making sure you learn from every video that you make. You're learning from everything you create. You're trying to be better than what you were before. And what I mean by the 1% and going up from that, the 1% increase, the 1% development, is basically saying that you are now developing skills that you have improved from that first episode. When you create your first 100 videos, if you have 1% increase from each video, you just gain 100% experience more than you had before. You have gained more skills and in life than you had before then. Either it's talking better in front of a camera, presenting yourself better as a person, maybe it's your idea generations, maybe it's your way that you edit your work. The list goes on and on and on, but the idea is simple, that you come out from each video that you make, no matter how bad that posting is, and improving each video that you do, because then you're developing yourself, right? You're becoming more than what you are. And that's important. And surprisingly enough, by doing so, and what shocks me even more so, that especially being a content creator and taking this pathway, it builds other skill sets that you never knew you had before. From editing to, from being a more prolific speaker, to essentially doing your research and investigating your figures that interest you. You improve in almost every aspect in your life without even realizing it. And you'd be so surprised how much it improves yourself by doing so. One thing I will take from this, after making so many videos, being in front of the camera, it builds a lot of confidence in yourself. It also builds more value in myself that I'm more than just this. And then you also gain the confidence of just being yourself, your authentic self in front of the camera. You're not so robotic anymore. You're not scared of it anymore. You're just up there, you're sharing your life story, and it becomes more natural. Because I think people today, more than ever, want to engage with you on that first person friends view. You don't want to be undermined, and you don't want to be treated less than a person. Who does? No one enjoys that. No one wants to see that. But to be able to come forward as a person and say, I have something to teach you, something I can educate you in, and that you can be more than what you are. That's important. That I can achieve more just because I reached out to you and put my hand out and said hi. You are my friends. You are the people that can learn and grow from me. And if you take it from that approach, if you approach it that way, you'll be surprised what you learn and what you grow and what people are willing to share with you. So if this happens to be you, you can put a comment down below. As always, I do provide coaching and mentoring if you need it, depending where you need to get into. So I'm happy to talk to you if you want to reach out. But overall, these are things I want to make sure and throw it out there that you can be the more than person that you are from just jumping into this industry. You'd be really surprised where it takes you. Now, yes, this is a side hustle for me, and it still is a side hustle, also a competition for me to see if I can take this anywhere, as I want to prove to myself that if someone like them can just walk around or sit their butt down anywhere they like and talk about anything about aspect of life, and grow their channel all suddenly overnight, or to a point where all they did was release 30 episodes or so in 2 months or 3 months and just suddenly boom. Well, I want to show that I can do that too. I think I can do that. So I'm giving this a go. I'm just having fun, and that's important. Have fun in what you're doing, and don't treat it as a job, because once it becomes a job and it becomes more real, then that may be your deterrent of not doing this. Or if it's actually showing some, I guess, as following the evergreen pastures, and shows that it can build passive income, this is actually the greatest platform to do this. This is one of the greatest platforms to do this. And then when you gain the skills and assets to push on forward, then move it on to another platform. You can do it on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, other shorts and other platforms as well, and really grow. Heck, there's another one in Amazon affiliate marketing, or the affiliate program on Amazon, which is great. And that's actually extend products in itself, and it's a great way of making extra money for you guys, So these are all ways you can approach it. I'm not deep diving in any of it. I'm just throwing out ideas what you can approach it. Don't shun me for that, for just telling you what I feel. But it is what it is down below. And you have to know that these are things you can take on. YouTube, building your personal brand, turning it into a business, being a content creator or content entrepreneur, and there's so many paths you can take this. Or if you're just going to use YouTube as a place to rant, have fun, and show your work, then by all means, if that's what you are at this point of life, then you want to do that, by all means. But I think an important thing I want to take away from you guys today, above anything else, is that don't do YouTube to a point where you need it. If you jump on YouTube too, and what I mean by that, if you jump on YouTube too late, by the time you need it, it will be too late. Because YouTube, my goodness, it is the long stretch, it is the long game. It is not an easy path for those who walk this path. And for a long time, you may not see a single cent in your wallet. And if it grows to be something more, then by all means, that's excellent. But you're going to find it more than ever that you're walking up a long path, and a pathway that has more hurdles than you've ever expected. Especially if you're starting to look at your analytics. I say this a fair bit already. Don't rely on your analytics at this part of time. Stage is too early, and it doesn't give you real data. And I'll walk through a little bit for you guys what that means. That means if you just happen to start your channel, you're excited, you have all these ideas, and you can touch someone else's life by sharing this material. The only problem by doing so, you're gonna run into this rut where you go, hold on, I only have like 0 views, I only have 2 or 14 or 15 or 100. Well, nah, that's every single content creator out there. You're not some Zach Zuckerberg. You're not Einstein. You're not any of that. So you are just one little fish in a big pond, and you only need a certain amount of little fish to follow you to really grow. That's what's wonderful about this platform. You can attack it in so many ways. You can attack it, and I mean that, attack it in so many ways to grow yourself, your business, your brand, and generating income in multiple ways. and hitting that evergreen pasture, which is really cool. Anyway, I want to keep this short and simple. I don't want to gap too long because I'm pretty sure you're getting bored of me talking too long. And you happen to share the same niche, reach out, call up, or if you need mentoring, coaching, reach out too. Or if it's something that you want to know a bit more. And on top of that, leave a like, subscribe, dislike, whatever you want, is because you guys can continue this. And thank you for watching. Hi, my name is Alex. See you later now. Bye.